Next item, we have reactivated the task force that the city council appointed last year on the sports complex. This is a rendering of a concept plan for the 80 acres that the city owns off of I-35 at College Avenue and Midwest Boulevard. And our thoughts is we would initially look at using 70 of the 80 acres and reserve 10 acres. Thought at some point in the future that Logan County may want to move the fairgrounds and have an expo center where the fairgrounds now are locked in and really don't have growth opportunity. At some point, they may want to pursue an expo center and new fairgrounds, and we're setting aside 10 acres for that potential project. This would have baseball, t-ball, softball, and as you see, this one doesn't have soccer. Our thoughts are working with the soccer club to do soccer field improvements at their present location. This year we did put in irrigation, which made their facilities better, and we will work with them on some other improvements at that site rather than move them out to this location. The cost estimate of this project, when you look at inclusive of the utility extensions, is roughly $14.2 million project. So it's not something that's going to happen overnight. We are looking at maybe doing some value engineering where we start out with gravel parking lots instead of concrete and then phase in the hard surface parking lots at a later date. We are also looking at dividing the project up into phases. And the committee or task force initially thought Phase 1 probably should be the softball complex and a portion of the parking that would serve that. And then we would go to baseball with the next phase. That's not locked in, but our initial discussion is one, we would phase it and probably look at softball complex and part of the parking is Phase 1. We talked about possible ways to fund. We're a long ways from it, but one of the things that was discussed, the motel lodging currently is at 4%. I didn't bring the sheet with me, but there's many communities throughout the state that have an 8% or more motel lodging tax. If we went from 4 to 8% based on our current revenue stream from that tax, it would generate just under $225,000 of additional revenue annually. That would take a vote of the people to do that. And over 15 years, that's about $3.4 million. If we were successful in increasing the motel tax, then we could look at applying for a land water conservation fund grant application. It's a 50-50 match. I don't believe there's any limit on the size of the grant we can ask for. So then quickly you could get to almost $7 million of the project by doing that. We're going to look, we've sent communication to Langston University to see if they might have interest in participating, whether it be competitive athletic fields or even if it's just for students for intramural sports, to see if they might have some interest in participating in the project. Potentially, we could use limited funding from the 3/4 cent CIP sales tax to maybe kind of kick the project off. We'll be looking at other grant opportunities. Some of them will require us to work through a 501c3 as our host, because if we go to a foundation, some of them won't give directly to the city. They have to give to a 501c3. So we have some 501c3s in town we could probably work through, but look at foundations like Inasmuch Foundation. We have some basketball courts. We may try to pursue funding through the Thunder Foundation. So we'll look at a variety of ways to try to fund this project over time. Future operation and management, we are exploring modeling after the Edmond All Sports Authority, and there would be a lease agreement between the city and the sports authority that's created. Sports Authority would be responsible for all the operations and routine maintenance. The city would only step in on major improvements in the future. So that's kind of a rundown of our first meeting of the Sports Complex Task Force. And as we flush some of these ideals out, we will make future reports to the City Council. That's all I have tonight.
Well, that really is exciting with the youth sports complex potential. It really is an exciting time, and it's a great vision. Great vision.